Welcome to the Literally First Class podcast, where I will teach you how to overcome anxiety and achieve somatic success. I'm your host, Keri Ford. I'm a somatic success and holistic life coach here to bring humor, insight, and wisdom to the modern day woman that wants to feel alive in her daily life. You ready? Come on, I saved you a seat in first class. Today, I want to empower you. I want to pour into you. I want to inspire you and motivate you and say, hell yes, keep going. Because the tides can turn at any moment in time and things can happen fast. If you're open to being romanced by God and magic and miracles, it can absolutely happen fast. Quantum leaps, collapsing timelines, having everything you want in less time. I have had over the last month or so some really amazing client wins that I want to celebrate. And the biggest question that I get is, how did they do that? Or how did you experience windfalls of success? And one of my clients, she goes, hey, can you hop on a Zoom really quick? And I go, oh, this is Zoom-worthy news? It's on Boxer. And she goes, yes, it is. So we hopped on a Zoom call, and she shows me a screenshot, and I have updated stats, but at the time when she showed it to me, we were a few days shy of the end of December 2022, and she had created $100,500 in the month of December. Now, after she closed out the entire month, she sent me a Voxer note actually today, and she ended up closing the month out at $105,000. 1 month was 6 figures. You might be asking, how did she do this? So just to give you some background on her and who I serve and how I serve women, I serve women at the C-suite executive level. They are corporate women. I also serve female entrepreneurs that are both in the online space or have physical brick and mortar types of businesses. So this particular client has a few daycare centers, and they're brick and mortar, obviously. And she decided that instead of opening a daycare center while we were working together in one of our programs, that she goes, this is crazy, but I'm just getting this feeling that I need to go all in on this Amazon storefront and launch an e-commerce business. And she has seen crazy results from launching this second stream of income that she didn't have before. It literally didn't exist. And now she's making 6 figures a month from an e-commerce business just because she started listening to her inner guidance. Another client just had an 8K day. She's never had an 8K day. She's never had a 4K day. She had an 8K day from an entirely new revenue stream that she never had before. She is in the online coaching space in fitness and wellness, and she also has a brick and mortar gym, and she's in network marketing. So she's a serial entrepreneur. This is her 3rd revenue stream, and she had an 8K fucking day. Cash collected, not sales and contracted revenue. Cash collected. And she said to me, like, oh my gosh, this is what I have been hoping to break through into for years. I have been waiting to work through these kind of beliefs. And here I am right now. So that was amazing. I mean, and over the years too. Oh, a few months ago, I have a corporate client, and she doubled her salary. So for those of you that are corporate or C-suite, you don't have to say, oh, well, it's so much easier for entrepreneurs because they have way more control and flexibility over their income. They do. I will admit, like, if you're an entrepreneur and you're a creator, you can create a program and then therefore create sales and therefore create cash collected. And you can still be the exception even if you work in corporate. I've had clients have company policies rewritten about them. One of my clients went out on maternity leave, and she had all sorts of contracted revenue that was supposed to come in while she was out on maternity leave. The company policy at the time was you can't have a commission received based off of cash collected when you're out on maternity leave. First of all, how fucking archaic is that? Second of all, I was like, oh, no. We are going to get that policy rewritten. She goes, Keri, how are we going to have them rewrite the policy? Like, it's literally been the company policy for years. And I told her, I said, I don't care. I want you to hold the belief. I want you to connect to, and this is where the somatic work comes in, and it's seriously like such a secret super weapon. A super secret weapon. Yes. And it's kind of a tongue twister. I guess it could work either way, whatever. I was like, I want you to practice touching into this in your body. And I want you to know that you can always be the exception. And she was like, all right. And they rewrote the policy and she collected her commission, as she should, for contracts that she had been working on prior to stepping out on maternity leave. So that was awesome. I think it was between 12 and 15K, something like that. She also shortly thereafter manifested her dream house and then ended up manifesting her dream job. She told them no at first because it's so funny. You guys will say you want something. It will come easily. And then you'll be like, I don't know. Do I really want this? Like, I'm not sure. And you'll question whether or not you want the thing. And she said no at the time. Now, she had some other life circumstances going on, like big milestone fun things like babies and all that. And lo and behold, they came back to her a few months later and they're like, listen, we still want you. And I'm like, you got to take it. Like, this is meant for you. Like, how cool is that? She's like, it's just wild. So, and it will call out every upper level limit, every limiting belief, every time you're at that edge and you're like, I know if I just take this big leap of faith, there's so much growth and expansion and abundance on the other side of this, but I've got to jump to receive it. And that's scary. And it's totally scary, but it's so worth it. And the more you do that, the more you choose to approach the edge and expand beyond it, the more you create higher tolerance for risk, the more you expand your window of tolerance, which is what we talk about in somatic work. That's literally like the nervous system window of tolerance, right? Where your body is either within or outside of what feels safe. And know that your nervous system is in fact doing its job. And something I talk about in the Stress to Superhuman 3-day virtual training event is that your nervous system has one job, and that is to scan for perceived or real threats. So the problem here is that even though it's doing its job, which is amazing and beautiful, and we get to be so grateful for that, is that it also will respond in the body. Your nervous system will be on high alert, even with a perceived threat. So whether or not the threat is real, your body will respond as if it is real. That goes for a perceived upper level limit. The reason I'm saying perceived upper level limit is because you literally create your reality based on your belief system. And your belief system tells your body what you believe and what it should respond to as far as what's safe, what's possible, what's real, what's not. And that's what your nervous system is measuring and filtering things against and through. So this is the work that we do to then break through your current upper level limit and expand you into somatic success so that you're not driving with your high performance anxiety anymore, because that's only going to get you so far. And honestly, that's not sustainable. As most of you know, you reach a certain point in your success where you're like, listen, I've got a lot of success. I've created everything I thought I wanted. And I don't know if the way I'm doing it is sustainable. Or you're waiting for your windfall. You feel like you're listening, or you're not sure if you're listening and you get confused, kind of lost in the messages that your body is giving you. But either way, you're burned out, you're overwhelmed, and it's not sustainable. You can't continue doing it that way. And so something has to change. So all of these amazing results these women have had nothing to do with business strategy and everything to do with their nervous system. Now, it's not to say that we don't talk about business strategy in sessions, whether you're a one-on-one client or you're in one of my group programs or in a live training or a retreat. Absolutely, we talk about strategy. However, I can give you the strategy and you might not do it. Or I can give you the strategy and maybe you see some success, but you won't keep the success because you haven't shifted and you haven't expanded your window of tolerance to hold, have, and keep more. You haven't shifted your identity from the woman that doesn't have that to the woman that does. And that is where self-sabotage, which is self-protection, often will show up. And it's not conscious a lot of the time, right? But that's why we hire guides and we have coaches and mentors that can hold a mirror up and say, oh, hey, here is my experience of you. Here is what I am seeing is available for you. Could that be a possibility? Or how do you feel when I say XYZ? So that is why these women have had such fast results that seem completely illogical and unrealistic. It's because they are literally reprogramming their limiting beliefs and expanding their nervous system to their somatic capacity to hold, have, and keep more. That is the work. The way out here is first, it's in the way in. Go in to go out. Because everything is a reflection. If you want to know what you believe, look at your results. Your results will tell you everything you believe about you. The relationships, the way you're treated, how you spend your time, what you value the most, what you don't value, the way you don't maintain boundaries or integrity of yourself, perhaps. It will reveal everything that you believe about yourself. And like I shared on last week's episode, where Jake and I sat on New Year's Day and we did those journaling prompts around money, we had a couple like kind of gut punch moments where we were in tears because the belief we wrote down was just like, oh my gosh, there that is. Not because we were sad we had the belief, but because it felt so true in our system. And when you land there, you know you're really making progress. You know it's really real for you when you arrive in that moment and you have tears and you feel almost like, I used to have this mentor and I swear she could reflect something back to me so precise that it would feel like a little tiny needle, like a pinprick. It was that precise. And I'd be like, man, you have such a gift for, yes, the way you just reframed that back to me and reflected what you heard me say and your experience of me. Like, yes, that feels so true to me. But the thing is even though it feels true to me, it may not be what I want to create as my truth. Even though it feels true to me in that moment, it may not support the vision I have for the woman I want to become and what I actually want to be true. So let's use money. That's a really easy thing to use. Let's use money. Let's say I told you to charge $10,000 for 1 hour of your time. And I just looked at you straight-faced. And I've done this with clients and potential clients before. And they start laughing, some of them. And the reason they laugh is because it sounds ridiculous or unrealistic to their mind and body, which is all one thing. But it sounds ridiculous to their system. They're like, that's not possible. I can see their beliefs coming through the minute they start to laugh. And then I'll say to them, why are you laughing? And they're like, because that's crazy. And I'm like, is it? Based on what? And then I'll ask them, are there people out there charging $10,000 an hour? And they're like, well, yeah. I'm like, okay, so what makes them different? Why can't you do it? And so there we see all of the beliefs that are telling us like, well, I don't have as much knowledge as them, or maybe I haven't been doing this as long, or who am I to charge that? And 10,000 is ridiculous. What do I need to do to charge that to prove my value? And that's why money is just neutral. It is a neutral thing. So that's an example that I would use to say, charge 10,000, and then we would know their beliefs. So the belief might be, let's just take this. The belief might be, that's crazy. Well, yeah, and that might feel really true to you, but if I said, do you want to be able to charge 10,000 an hour? And you said, yeah, then that would be the truth that you want to create instead, right? So 10,000 might feel crazy, and what feels true is that it's crazy. But what you want to create might be charging $10,000 an hour, and that is the truth you want to create. So then we have a gap. We have the current identity and the current belief system, and then we've got our desired identity and our desired belief system. So how do we close the gap? Somatic, work, and nervous system capacity. That's the answer. We can do all the mindset work in the world, but we can't willpower our way into new thinking because the body responds to what a perceived or real threat is. Perceived or real, whether a lion is chasing you or it feels dangerous to be seen on a stage with 1,000 people, the fear is very real, isn't it? The body will respond accordingly. So it's important to know your nervous system. It's important to understand how you respond in situations. It's important to feel the sensations and connect to the experience of the feelings in your body so that you can get to know all of those parts of yourself and integrate, metabolize, and expand beyond. So I want to let you know that wherever you are right now is perfect. And I want to let you know that anything can change in the best of ways for you at any given moment. We always have a new moment unfolding. You guys hear me say this all the time. Always, always have an opportunity to create new energy and motion. And truly, you can have magic and miracles happen very quickly for you. So success does not have to be something that is way out there in the distant future. Success, maybe as the way we're defining it here, could be a huge windfall of abundance, can be experienced very quickly. And I've used a lot of examples around money again, because it's an easy thing to understand. People that have worked with me have manifested, again, houses and relationships and alignment in other ways in their life, deeper purpose, more inner fulfillment, happier, more harmonized households, all of those things. But you can really have whatever you define success to be fast. And I want that for you. So I will see you guys next week. And I hope you guys have an amazing, abundant, magical, miraculous week. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed your flight, and I'll see you on board again soon.
Seriously though, thanks for listening. If you're ready to take this work deeper and upgrade your mind, I want to invite you to join us inside my Millionaire Mindset program. This is where you'll start using my guided meditations to help you overcome anxiety and experience even more abundance. When you join, you'll have access to my entire audio library. Head over to elevatewithkeri.com and we'll see you inside.